Across the Aegean's shimmering expanse, where myth and history intertwine, stood magnificent Troy, a city fabled for its impenetrable walls and vibrant prosperity, defying all who dared to challenge its formidable might. High upon the Hellespont, guarding the vital crossroads between two continents, its colossal ramparts seemed to mock the very notion of conquest, whispered through ancient lands. Yet beneath this veneer of unbreakable strength, seeds of a cataclysmic war were sown by the capricious will of the Olympian gods, setting destiny's tragic wheels in motion. The fateful tale began with a golden apple, inscribed with a deceptively simple challenge: to the fairest, tossed among goddesses at Peleus and Thetis's wedding feast. Eris, the goddess of discord, excluded from the celebrations, thus ignited the divine envy that would soon consume mortal realms in its destructive, fiery embrace. Three powerful Olympians, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, each laid claim to the coveted prize, their celestial beauty fiercely vying for unparalleled recognition. Zeus, wisely refusing to choose, appointed a mortal arbiter for this celestial dispute, Paris, a prince of Troy, then living as a shepherd in humble exile. The goddesses descended upon Mount Ida, offering lavish bribes to sway Paris's crucial judgment, each promising him a unique and irresistible reward for his favor. Hera promised him dominion over all Asia, a vast empire stretching from sea to shining sea, bestowing upon him immense power and untold worldly prestige. Athena offered unparalleled wisdom and prowess in battle, ensuring his victory in every conflict, making him an unmatched warrior of legendary skill. Aphrodite, goddess of love, presented the most enticing temptation, the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen, a queen of Sparta, as his future bride. Blinded by youthful passion and swayed by Aphrodite's irresistible charm, Paris awarded the golden apple to her, sealing his city's tragic fate with one fateful decision. This choice set in motion an epic chain of events, leading directly to the abduction of Helen, who was already married to Menelaus, the king of Sparta. Paris, guided by Aphrodite's influence, traveled to Sparta, where he was welcomed as a guest before betraying his host's trust in a profound act of deceit. Under cover of darkness, or perhaps by her own willing heart, Helen departed with Paris, sailing across the sea to Troy, leaving behind a kingdom in turmoil. Menelaus, discovering the betrayal, was consumed by a burning rage, his honor irrevocably stained, his world shattered by the profound audacity of this transgression. He invoked an ancient oath, sworn by all Greek kings who had once sought Helen's hand, binding them to avenge this grievous insult against his royal household. Across the Hellenic lands, from Ithaca's rugged shores to Mycenae's golden halls, kings and heroes responded to the solemn call, forming an unprecedented coalition. Agamemnon, Menelaus's brother and king of Mycenae, assumed command of the vast Achaean fleet, 1,000 ships preparing to embark on their arduous journey. Among them sailed legendary figures, the cunning Odysseus, the mighty Ajax, and above all, the unparalleled warrior Achilles, whose wrath was a force of nature. For 10 grueling years, the Achaeans laid siege to Troy, their mighty armada encamped upon the Scamander plain, tirelessly assaulting the city's formidable defenses. Many heroes fell on both sides, their valiant lives extinguished in the relentless skirmishes and pitched battles that defined this monumental, prolonged conflict. The Trojans, led by the valiant Hector, Prince of Troy and its greatest defender, fought with unwavering courage, protecting their homes and families with fierce loyalty. Apollo, Artemis, and Aphrodite sided with the Trojans, lending divine aid to their cause, while Hera, Athena, and Poseidon championed the Achaean invaders. Achilles, the greatest of the Greek warriors, initially withdrew from battle in a fit of prideful anger against Agamemnon, profoundly impacting the tide of war. His beloved companion Patroclus donned Achilles' armor, bravely entering the fray to rally the faltering Achaean forces against the resurgent Trojan onslaught. Patroclus fought valiantly, pushing the Trojans back from the ships, but ultimately met his tragic end at the hands of the formidable Trojan prince, Hector himself. News of Patroclus's death plunged Achilles into an abyss of grief and uncontrollable fury, reigniting his resolve to join the battle once more for vengeance. He returned to the field, a terrifying force of nature, clad in new armor forged by Hephaestus, his grief transforming into a relentless thirst for retribution. Achilles systematically cut a swath through the Trojan ranks, seeking out Hector with a singular, unyielding purpose, leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. The two greatest warriors of their age finally met outside the Scaean gates, a legendary duel watched by gods and mortals alike, its outcome hanging in the balance. Hector, though brave, could not match Achilles' divinely fueled rage and superior skill, falling before the Greek hero's spear in a moment of profound tragedy. Achilles, in his vengeful fury, defiled Hector's body, dragging it behind his chariot around the city walls, a shocking act of brutality witnessed by all Troy. Priam, the aged king of Troy, humbled and heartbroken, bravely ventured into the Achaean camp, pleading with Achilles for the return of his beloved son's remains. Moved by Priam's sorrow and a fleeting glimpse of his own mortality, Achilles relented, granting the old king a temporary truce to properly mourn his fallen son. Though Hector was avenged, Achilles' own fate was sealed. Prophecy foretold his death shortly after Hector's, a tragic end for the greatest of all Greek heroes. Paris, guided by Apollo's divine hand, shot an arrow that found Achilles' vulnerable heel, the sole mortal spot on his otherwise invulnerable body, ending his reign. The mighty Achilles, the legendary warrior, collapsed, his powerful life ebbing away on the blood-soaked plains, a pivotal moment in the decade-long siege's grim narrative. With Achilles gone, Achaean morale wavered, but their resolve to conquer Troy remained steadfast, knowing they needed an ultimate, cunning strategy for victory. Odysseus, the ingenious king of Ithaca, renowned for his sharp wit and strategic brilliance, conceived a plan of unprecedented deceit to breach Troy's walls. He proposed constructing a colossal wooden horse, an offering ostensibly to Athena, secretly hollow to conceal a select group of the bravest Achaean warriors within. Epeius, a master craftsman among the Greeks, meticulously built the enormous equine structure, its wooden form rising majestically on the Trojan plain for all to behold. The elite fighting force, including Odysseus, Menelaus, and many others, bravely entered the dark belly of the wooden beast, ready to execute their daring final mission. The remaining Achaean army then ostensibly retreated, burning their camp to complete the deception, sailing their ships just out of sight behind Tenedos Island. A lone Greek, Sinon, was left behind, a master of dissimulation, tasked with weaving a convincing tale to persuade the Trojans to accept the monumental wooden gift. Sinon claimed he was a victim of Odysseus's malice, condemned for sacrifice, and that the horse was an offering to appease Athena, angered by the desecration of her temple. He cunningly explained that the horse was built so large specifically to prevent its entry into Troy, suggesting divine favor if they managed to bring it inside. The Trojans, weary of war and eager for an end, debated the strange offering, their suspicions warring with a desperate hope for peace after years of brutal conflict. Laocoon, a priest of Poseidon, vehemently warned against the gift, famously exclaiming, "Beware of Greeks bearing gifts, even when they seem to be sincere offerings." He hurled his spear into the horse's side, and from within came a metallic clatter, nearly betraying the Achaeans. But his warning went tragically unheeded. Suddenly, two colossal sea serpents emerged from the waves, sent by an enraged Athena or Poseidon, and swiftly devoured Laocoon and his two innocent sons. This terrifying omen convinced the superstitious Trojans that Laocoon had offended the gods, and that the wooden horse was indeed a sacred, inviolable offering. They dismantled a section of their formidable city wall, a sacrilegious act, and with immense effort pulled the gigantic wooden horse into the heart of their city. That night, the Trojans celebrated their perceived victory with feasting and revelry, unaware of the impending doom lurking within their very walls, hidden from sight. As darkness fully enveloped the unsuspecting city, Sinon secretly opened the horse's hidden hatch, releasing the Achaean warriors into the silent, sleeping streets. The Greek heroes, emerging from their claustrophobic hiding place, quickly overwhelmed the few unsuspecting guards, securing the city gates for the returning fleet. Signaling with a torch, they guided Agamemnon's ships, which had returned from Tenedos, back to the now defenseless shores of Troy under the cloak of deepest night. The Achaean army poured into the city, their long-awaited vengeance finally within grasp, unleashing a terrible, destructive fury upon the unsuspecting Trojan populace. The slaughter was immediate and relentless, houses set ablaze, temples desecrated, and the cries of the dying echoed through the ancient hallowed streets of Troy. King Priam was brutally slain at the altar of Zeus by Neoptolemus, Achilles' son, marking the tragic, ignominious end of Troy's venerable, aging ruler. Cassandra, the prophetess cursed to foresee the future but never be believed, was dragged from Athena's temple, her desperate warnings now tragically confirmed. Little Astyanax, Hector's young son and heir, was cruelly thrown from the city walls, ensuring there would be no male line left to reclaim the ravaged throne. Helen, the catalyst of this monumental conflict, was recaptured by Menelaus, her fate uncertain, her beauty still potent, yet forever stained by the war's horrors. By dawn, the once proud city of Troy was a smoldering ruin, its formidable walls breached, its people massacred, its grandeur reduced to ashes and sorrow. The Achaean victors, their vengeance complete, gathered their plunder and surviving captives, preparing for their long, arduous, and often ill-fated journeys home. The gods, though having favored different sides, now turned their wrath upon many returning Greeks for their acts of impiety and sacrilege during the sacking. Odysseus, for instance, endured a decade of trials and tribulations on his epic journey back to Ithaca, a testament to the gods' enduring, vengeful power. The fall of Troy stands as a harrowing epic, a profound narrative of human pride, divine intervention, and the terrible, relentless cost of vengeance and war. It speaks of heroism and betrayal, love and loss, forever etched into the human consciousness through the enduring power of ancient, compelling storytelling. Though the city itself crumbled into dust, the legend of Troy and its epic 10-year struggle transcends time, resonating deeply across all generations. Its echoes reverberate through history and literature, timeless cautionary tale of hubris and the destructive consequences of choices made in both love and war. The myth of Troy lives on, a vivid testament to the tragic grandeur of a fallen civilization and the eternal power of stories that shape our very understanding of fate.